You know all those recent conversations people had prior to the election when they talked about, I'm voting for Trump because, he talks like us when we're at home. Well, first of all, no, he doesn't, because he's a malignant, narcissistic train wreck. But setting that part aside, Trump ran a lot, obviously, on the price of eggs and the economy and etc. But what's funny about that is those tax cuts Trump did eons ago, those are about to come all the way back around and put their foot straight up the butt of the American people. And we're going to see how you feel about how you talk when you're at home. And I got a little more on that in this special edition from Democracy Dumpster Fire we like to call Kitchen Table. Because trickle-down economics, or as George Bush Sr. once called it, voodoo economics,
Voodoo economics. That's how candidate George Bush described candidate Ronald Reagan's policy during the 1980 presidential primaries.
Is part of the reason why this country is $37 trillion in national debt, and why we pay almost $4 billion a day in interest on that debt.
Mr. Reagan is now Vice President Bush's boss, and the phrase is something of an embarrassment. In fact, Bush said this week he never said it, but the record rather vividly proves otherwise.
Because one of the things that you have to love about this story is a entity you may not know about called TICJA, which is Tax Cut and Jobs Acts. And God bless one Republican out of the entire Congress who actually stands up and says things that matter.
It's very important to understand the impacts of the TCJA and the impact that had on the economy and on the American people. And we're hearing again some tired arguments today about the TCJA that are just simply false. We've heard that the TCJA made the tax code more progressive. That's false. We heard that the TCJA benefited the rich at the expense of middle-income America. That is false.
And it's because Trump continues to say, everything's going to get better. Don't worry, it's going to get better. But what you have, Representative Chip Roy actually saying to an entire panel of fiscal experts in this country for our government saying, is this actually going to work? Does it pay for itself? Wait till you see the answer.
Is it your position and belief that TICJA, if just extended, will in fact pay for themselves? Yes or no?
As a percentage of GDP, no.
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 Well, let's be reminded, that wasn't 4 out of 5 dentists saying yes. That was 5 for 5 experts saying no. Because that's where the truth is about when you just continue to tax only people who barely make a living. You don't tax the wealthy billionaires and millionaires properly, and you let corporations completely off the tax hook. Do like, share, subscribe, and do yourself a second of a favor. Go do a quick search on carried interest on Wall Street and see what you come up with. And I'm going to leave you with a little more video of how fun it is to try and have the Republican and the GOP while another tax cut is about to continue onward if we don't stop it, because we're just going to go further into the national debt. See y'all soon.
We should do that. We should do what's right for the American people. But these tired arguments, Jobs Act, as I said, they didn't believe you then, and they're not going to believe you today as well. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.